All right, first question. How does it feel to be called the science icon of our generation?
It's pretty cool. You know, I grew up with a guy named Don Herbert, Mr. Wizard. And he's a very influential guy. He sent the United States to the moon, in my opinion. And so if I'm being a tenth that influential, 100th, that's pretty good. So it is an honor. It's a responsibility. It really is something, so thank you.
What made you choose to, let me make sure I got this question.
It's very easy for you to say.
What made you decide you want to do a TV show that highlights science as makes science cool to the general population rather than, sort of a niche thing that people like to tinker with things do?
To me, there's nothing more fun than science. There's nothing more exciting than science. So I was working in television, writing comedy, but I thought this would be a lot more fun. It's a lot more up my alley. So it took 17 years, and we got the show. It was worth it. It's cool, though. It's great. No, I love television. Not all of it's good, but some of it, you can show things that you can't see in your everyday experience. It's great.
And how has science and television influenced your life to this point?
Well, I grew up watching Mr. Wizard, and he showed me science demonstrations all the time. I saw all the Apollo landings. I saw all the stuff before Apollo, the Gemini and the Mercury missions. I saw all that on television. Television is a really powerful medium. It's remarkable. You see speeches. You see people right up close. You see, nowadays you can see the threads on football jerseys. Television is spectacular. On the other hand, there's a lot of television that you don't want to watch. You got to turn it off. Yes, sir. Next question, please.
Okay. Do you think that the American auto industry is doing enough to address the current climate crisis we're in?
The American auto industry, in my opinion, isn't doing nearly enough to address the climate crisis. I get the impression they sort of don't believe it. And even the product that they have in the pipeline, I don't think they believe it. And the hybrids that they make in Detroit, in U.S.-based automakers, are hollow, as we say. They're just not very good hybrids. And that's not a controversial statement based on Union Concerned Scientists. Just that they get such a small increment increase in gas mileage, such a small output. It's as a mechanical engineer who grew up in the U.S., it's heartbreaking, and it's in a sense it's unpatriotic for me. I think those guys are just a little too self-interested. It's going to be a hard thing to change. They're going to have to lop some heads at the top, I think. We'll see.
And then with the new administration saying to invest in alternative energies, what do you think the future of energy is in this country?
Well, I hope that we can completely wean ourselves from foreign oil. People say 20 years, but how about half of that? How about 10 years? That's really hard. That's really hard. But longest journey starts with a single step. We got breakthroughs in so-called second-generation biofuels. This is not distilling corn, but using algae to produce oil directly, genetically modified algae. Man, go a long way. And the big thing is changing transportation systems and city planning in general. And the internet makes it possible so you can do a lot of work without having to commute. We'll see. It's a big old challenge.
Okay. Right now, one of the problems that St. Louis has, one of our issues that we're dealing with right now is last November, we have transit initiative on the ballot to expand transit service and fund it more fully. And St. Louis County voters, which is a suburb to our west, decided they voted it down. And now we're confronted with major cuts next month. What do you think are some things that people that rely on public transportation or rather not use their own automobiles can do to reduce their carbon footprint? And
well, if you want to get around without a car, you got to live near public transportation. That's St. Louis. Is it St. Louis County, right?
Yeah.
They voted it down. It doesn't surprise me. People do that all the time, especially in the West. People just don't have experience with public transportation. They don't trust it or something. Remember, I grew up in Washington, D.C. I think that's short-sighted, and it's where it takes leadership and blah, blah, blah. I love this story. So I interviewed a guy at Harvard Dr. Hirschbach, who's got a Nobel Prize in chemistry. And so the crew, these 4 guys and I are getting ready to leave. And so we got to go to the airport. Oh, you going to the airport? Here's what you do. You go out the gate right there, go down to the red line, take the red line 2 stops to the green line, you get off the green line and take the blue line, you go right to the airport. That's guys, he's a multi-millionaire. He's a Nobel laureate. That's how he goes to the airport. You will find, my St. Louis voters, you actually save time. And you actually have time to read and think when you're sitting on the train. You've made a mistake. I hope you can recover. For those of you who want to take public transportation, you just got to live near it. I live about a mile from the LA subway. It's a little far. Almost good. So I ride my bike there, but then if you park your bike there, everybody knows what you're doing. You're not going to be right back. Take the bus and all that. Bus. It's not perfect. The longest journey. Yes, lead on.
And then what will our generation have to do to break our society's overconsumption habits?
Well, it's not so much overconsumption. Well, it is overconsumption, you're right, but we just do so little with so much. That's my concern. We use enormous amounts of electricity to do jobs that we can probably do with a lot less electricity. We certainly use enormous amounts of fossil fuels to heat our homes because our homes are so inefficiently built. And we don't exploit, this is a thing with me, we don't exploit solar hot water at all. It's free heat falling everywhere, we don't do anything with it. But all this is huge opportunities. These are so-called green jobs. If you bring in plumbers to do solar hot water in a house, they're not going to be coming from a foreign country, they're going to be coming from North America. What's not to love about that? So what else, you guys? Are we good?
I've got one question. I want to ask you more about your next door neighbor, Ed Begley.
Ed?
Yeah.
I must crush him. Yes. So if you don't know, Ed Begley is a very well-known Hollywood actor. He just works all the time. He's in all kinds of TV shows. I live 4 doors up the street from him. Now, he's been pursuing environmental issues kind of because he's interested in it, and also he's fascinated with saving money. That's Ed's thing. I entered environmental thing because I grew up with Earth Day. And I always thought it was just a better way of life, that we just waste so much energy, so many resources. So one day he was doing his show called Living with Ed, where the premise of the show is Ed's wife, Rochelle, is a normal person. Ed is a crazy man. That's the premise of the show, and she has to put up with him all day. So one day, literally one day, they walk up the street to my house the day that the guys were out putting in my solar panels, because I'm a hobbyist. I wonder if I can live, with solar energy and so on. And so they videotaped me, and then we created this feud. And it's been fun. We've been really good for everybody. Let me tell you, I've replaced all the windows in my house, okay, with energy efficient, low emissivity glass. Each tint, each emissivity rating is tuned to whether it faces north, south, east, or west. Ed has got at least 3 windows. You're sitting there. I'm coming after you, Begley. Coming after you, man. Okay. So thanks, you guys. Let's change the world. Yeah.